Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on the Mysterious JG. And you know what? Grand Theft Auto 5 might actually have a longer story when all is said and done. And if you count the various DLCs for GTA 4, I didn't play all of them. I never played any of them all the way through. And, wait, how many were there? So Lost in the Damned, Ballad of Gay Tony, maybe it was just the two. But I love that idea that there would be DLCs that would be like narrative story type DLCs set in that world, using characters like you might run into characters you met in the main story. They're not. GTA 5 went in a different direction with its additional content after you clear the main story in GTA 5 online. But this is the game that for a long time I was convinced this was the biggest GTA game, and maybe I'll feel differently if I go and play those PS3 and 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One era games after this at some point. But no, certainly this is like the biggest, most massive game I'd ever played when I played it on a console. Maybe the Ultimate games and stuff felt bigger, the better Ultimate games, that is, when they first came out. But yeah, we're at the end of a pretty epic story. But do I want to do a story recap? I often do that when I'm about to finish the main story of a game, but this one we're going to have other things to do. So the real short version is that CJ left San Andreas and moved out to Liberty City and was doing some stuff, making a name for himself. See, it really does look like we took over a decent chunk of the city. Because of the size of these individual territories, the Aztecas look strong, but if it wasn't for these like Bala holdings out here, if it was just us and the Balas in the inner city of East Los Santos, it would look like we were in charge. Anyway, CJ was, a gangbanger fighting on one of the two main African American gangs in East Los Santos, basically East LA, and he left and cut out to Liberty City, basically NYC, to start making a name for himself there after one of his two brothers got killed. Or, no. Yeah, it was after one of his two brothers got killed, he left. And then his mom got killed, and he came back to bury his mom. And his sister welcomed him back with a hug, but his brother kind of was hostile when he came back because he felt like he left the family. But he decided he was going to stay put and try to help get his old gang, the Grove Street families, on their feet, which had a series of missions with him and his brother Sweet, the head of Grove Street families, and then two of the old Grove Street gang members who'd been CJ's friends for many years, Ryder and Big Smoke. But there was also a dirty cop named Tenpenny who kept kind of using CJ as a monkey's paw on various plans and things that he was up to. And eventually we find out that Tenpenny, it's not clear at first whose master plan it was, but he's working with your friends and gang members, Big Smoke and Ryder, to start pushing drugs in these neighborhoods that are under Grove Street control. It's working together with your old arch nemesis, the Ballas, which is another street gang. You find out basically that Ryder and Big Smoke have betrayed you. It even appears that they were trying to kill your brother Sweet, and in a hit, which was meant to kill Sweet, was when your mom was accidentally killed. So you get this, and you rush to save Sweet. You save him from dying, but you and Sweet are both put under arrest. But the crooked cops decide to take you way out into the sticks in Angel Pine so that they can continue to manipulate you and use you to clean up their messes for them. Eventually, you, with the help of Cesar Villapando, the guy who actually warned you that Smoke and Ryder were about to betray you, who's in love with your sister and is therefore trying to help you out. Together with him, you set up some businesses in San Fierro. The cops still have an eye on you and still occasionally use you to do their dirty work, but by getting out of the Los Santos gang scene, you've got a chance to start something new, but you still continue to try to undermine Big Smoke, the ringleader who betrayed you, fighting against Big Smoke indirectly by messing up his drug empire. You end up getting in with a group of drug dealers in San Fierro, but you do so that you can betray them and destroy their drug factory because they're the ones who are making drugs to supply to Big Smoke in Los Santos. Over the course of all this, you get involved with two unusual people. One of them is Wu Zima, the blind son of the leader of the Chinese triads. You do him some favors while trying to make some allies and position yourself. And ultimately, you end up doing so much good for him, and you're in so good with him, you get a small stake in the casino he's opening up in Las Venturas. But as much as he does for you, he can't really do a whole lot to help you with your situation with your brother Sweet, who you're trying to save. But bizarrely, another person you meet in San Fierro, Mike Torino, who appears to be the money and the brains behind a drug running syndicate, but then turns out to be some kind of bizarre clandestine U.S. agent who's working with the drug runners for some unknown government agenda. You do a series of very out there crazy missions for him, and as a result of doing what he says, he actually gets your brother Sweet out of prison. While all this is going on, the evil officer Tenpenny, the dirty cop who set up you and your brother, presumably wanted to see both of you dead, even if he ultimately pulled you out to continue to use you as a cat's paw. Tenpenny's plans and lies are slowly beginning to unravel. He kills one of his two partners because that partner was about to turn against him. He has that other partner, Pulaski. He drives you out into the desert to kill you, or he meets you out in the desert with the intention of killing you. But you end up overpowering and killing Pulaski, and now Tenpenny is on his own with no allies. You make a series of connections. You get involved with a rapper, Mad Dog. I can't even bother to explain the Mad Dog OG Loke subplot. It's too ridiculous. But ultimately, you're in Vegas, and because of this connection with a rapper, you call in favors from the triads that you're working with. They help you set up shop at a mansion back in Los Santos for the first time in the story in many hours. You are back in Los Santos. You're working with a rapper. You're getting things going. You're kind of ignoring what's going on in the hood and just living up here in the high country when Mike Torino calls in a favor for you and releases your brother from prison. He calls in a favor from you, then calls in a favor for you, gets your brother out of prison. Suddenly your brother wants your focus back on the gangs. All of these adventures you've had in all these other cities really just boil down to, over the course of doing a bunch of crazy shit in other cities, you meet a guy who eventually frees your brother and hits the reset button and brings you back to gangland inner city Los Santos to have you kill Ballas until the story unfolds and you can go after Big Smoke. But that's where we are. The evil officer Tenpenny was put on trial but acquitted because of a crooked justice system which has led the entire city into a bunch of riots. During the chaos of the riots, your brother Sweet thinks you have an opportunity to kill Big Smoke, the guy who betrayed you. The other guy betrayed you, Ryder. He got killed earlier and I forgot about it. So yeah, that's the 9-minute version of the entire story going into this final mission. There are two big villains left to get. Tenpenny, we're kind of not sure what's going on there. But Big Smoke, we know where he is, thanks to some squealers amongst the gangs in the city, and we're going to get him. Wouldn't it be funny if right after that 9 minutes suddenly it said, no, you must take over more gang territory to continue. I see a toilet, where are you?
It's time for smoke.
Alright, let's roll.
Johnson brothers finna take that fat fool down.
They call me SJ, Sweet Johnson.
Oh, you wanna die? Sure.
I get in the car with Sweet. I guess I'm driving. Drive to Big Smoke's Crack Fortress. It's nice that it's got such a formal sounding name. Anyway, alright. It's in Grove Street territory. Now, we took over that territory a while ago. Otherwise, it would be like, huh, interesting. Maybe you just needed to take over the territory it's in. That is probably not what it is.
In the third dimension with the glass,
You sure he in East Los Santos?
Yeah, right on the edge of Lost Forest. Some old apartments and a warehouse.
He as good as dead, King.
Yep.
I can't believe you bought that same bucket-ass car, man.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's kind of broke though. Man, all these cars just stop and catch full on fire.
This boy short shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Nervous?
I like
Yeah.
it.
Me too. Me too.
Like, I'm really worried that we're just going to... The car is going to get caught on fire and explode on our way to this final mission, which I guarantee you is just a very short little mission we got to do. Just a tiny little mission we got to do, and all this is resolved. You guys are on our side, so it does really look like they've set up a roadblock with a car across the middle of the street and guys on either side of it shooting machine guns. Okay.
Look, I know you down for this, but I gotta go in there alone.
What?
Smoke
Oh,
played me.
sweet, I
Ten
agree.
Played me.
They played us all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're right. I was a buster when my family needed me the most.
And now you're being a selfish
Hey, I
buster.
let Brian die, man. This
You
was
sure
for
did,
him,
and he kills you.
For Mom, and for you, bro.
You don't think Sweet wants to
Bro,
avenge
Sweet,
his mom and his
Yeah,
brother?
Bro, baby.
Hey,
It,
you need me? You know I'll be.
For sure. You always been there for me.
if you need to retreat like a little bitch, you know where I'll be. It's nice that CJ can depend on his brother. You know, the real Solid Snake... Never mind, he's not Solid Snake. I was about to try to go into... Okay, security's tight in the crack fortress. There's only one way in, but the door is locked down. The only way past reinforced entrance is to knock it down. Heavy vehicle like the SWAT tank will be able to smash down the entrance easily. Go get the SWAT tank. I was starting in on this silly thing about, oh yeah, he's like Solid Snake. Solid Snake can't depend on his brother, Liquid Snake. Liquid Snake's evil. And then I'm like, wait, he's not cosplaying as Solid Snake. He's cosplaying as Big Boss, who doesn't have a brother. So I guess the simplest thing to do... Now, the SWAT tank, is this... Am I going to miss that the SWAT tank wasn't around earlier? What the... Why are you guys attacking me? I'm just trying to get through. Yeah, that guy's definitely after me. Que paso loco, he said. But the SWAT tank, like, is that a unique vehicle? I've never seen it before. I feel kind of bad that we won't have one in a garage somewhere. But we've got a Rhino, which is at least as good. And that makes me think, well, wait, how come we don't just take a Rhino? Who's shooting at me, and why are they shooting at me? Are the cops just like... That's crazy. Like, I didn't have a wanted level. Why were the cops hostile? Well, whatever. I'm completely out of health now. I either try to salvage this by getting to a restaurant and eating some food, and then getting an ammunition and getting some armor, or I just... Next time, I start over, and next time, it's like, don't even bother trying to sneak up on the tank, because everyone will try to kill you. Just rush it. I thought I could be slick and stealthy, but maybe that's not even worth trying. The other issue is it worth going to get armor? Or can I just hope there will be armor pickups during the mission itself?
Well, hello, a doodle do.
Hello, a doodle torque. I don't know why I thought that was the thing to say there.
Enjoy a doodle do.
I don't want to be like puking at this point, which can happen if you eat way too much
You might
food
be lucky enough to find a feather.
at the game. If you puke from eating too much food in real life, you've eaten way too much food. Shouldn't go into it. Had pizza tonight. It was delicious. I loved it. Best pizza I've had in a while. Just I always order like extra cheese and you don't always really get taken care of when you do that. And this time they just it was fantastic. And like 2 hours later, wow, it didn't seem to agree with me. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but that just made me think of it. I really enjoyed my dinner tonight. So freaking good. And now I'm like, oh, am I gonna be waking up in the middle of the night because of like how heavy this is on my stomach? The really crazy thing about all this is I intended to eat one piece more than I did to leave a little like a little bit more than half of this pizza that was delivered. I was going to eat it tonight for dinner so that I'd have a little less that I could have as a lunch later. And I was like, no, this is so good and I want to eat more, but I'm really getting full. I'll just set it aside. Still got completely punished in my innards. I guess I'm trying to tell you stuff that's more gross. Like listening to my own videos for Soundcheck the other day, I was like, why do I keep talking about my off-screening? And now I was doing it before I entered my New Year resolution about not having alcohol when I'm gaming on the weekends. And I keep mentioning that, and I'm like, I gotta stop talking about that, because if I just decide, you know what, I'm over it, I'm gonna... I stayed away from it for a while. That was probably good for my calories and whatnot, but I'm gonna... Nobody's business if I get back into doing that. I guess now I'm like, you know what else could I talk about that I shouldn't talk about? Indigestion from eating too much pizza. Or just really good pizza. And it's in really, like, I like pizza that has a lot of cheese and stuff. So yeah. It's the final main story mission. Let's just get really gross and talk about stuff that nobody wants to hear about. Yeah. Oh, maybe it was ballas and not cops. Although I think they were cops too. But the game remembers this because it's part of a story mission. So I didn't have a bunch of guys respawning. And if I had known I was going to have a lot of guys attacking me, like, I would have treated this differently if I had realized. And I think most of this mission about the drug fortress will be indoors after we've gotten into the drug fortress. I don't know how much use this sniper rifle will be. But at this point, hell yeah, I should be using it. That guy just got really unlucky there. He picked exactly the wrong time to sprint across that intersection. Is there not a guy there? I thought there was a guy there. Yeah, there is. And I believe I need to take it here, turn this corner, and drive into an armored well, I suppose I can get out of the armored car and be told where I'm supposed to go. Like, once I'm in it, it'll probably tell me what the next objective is. Because I've lost track of where this armored door I have to knock down is. This is one puta... Okay, I figured it was this way, past this car, but... Oh, it shoots water. I was just trying to get rid of any adversaries along the way as strategically as possible, but it's probably not really necessary now that I got the SWAT tank. Oh, I'm knocking down the whole wall. Okay. All right. Didn't mean to shoot that cop, but apparently on this mission I can't get a wanted level because another cop watched me kill him and didn't care.
You want this, huh?
Okay. Stealth, probably not really a thing. I think they just know where I am.
Had to get ugly, huh? You want to get shut up, huh? Ah! I'm your bitch, huh? Easy, partner, watch out.
Oh, sorry, I just killed a top or almost naked lady who may have been a cocaine slave or something. Yeah, these are just drug users, but I'm shooting them up because I guess I'm not taking any chances, huh? Smokes Crack Palace. Floor 1, security area. Oh boy. This might take a while. Smoke is on the 4th floor in his penthouse suite. You'll have to work your way through 3 floors to get there. I've already lost a significant amount of armor, too. I've lost all my freaking armor.
Everybody having a good time, huh? Why I left this place. None of you fools can stop me.
There's armor over there. I guess if I was going to learn the cover mechanics late in the game, this might be the time. This might not be too bad if that was 4th floor in its entirety. Why are the cops, well, cops probably can't tell who's a balla and who's here to kill the ballas, but it could seem a little odd that they just burst in and were hostile. And there's Vagos after me, too. I'm going to take this slowly and carefully, but there may be something to be said for rushing through certain areas without killing everybody. Because those, I think those cops would have been shooting at, I think they would shoot at the ballas or me, either one. Whoever presented themselves as a target. Or maybe, you know what, as I think about it, no, rushing through here would almost certainly get you killed. There might be individual rooms you could rush through. Okay. Depending on how frequent the armor drops are, and they're not drops, they're pickups. There's no enemies have a certain chance of getting... Ooh. Okay, I thought I was still searching around, but... Yeah. Combat shotgun. Fine. Health. Well, it wasn't quite at full, so I'm not going to say no. But alright. Let's leave that and come back.
I'm gonna finish this.
Are you?
Remember that?
I'm glad you warned us he was coming. Alright, so those are the guys that are in T-Bone Mendez's gang, the San Fierro guys, that I thought for a long time were CJ's warriors, or Caesar's warriors.
You got a definitely.
Alright, time to go back and get that armor pickup. Yeah, a lot of guys to be killed here. Should have bought more ammo for this gun, even though the guys here dropped this gun.
Oh, you're too kind.
Who is shooting at me? Come on, the guy was like filling the frame. And I hit the auto aim button and it made me turn and face the wrong way. He was shooting a little wimpy pistol, so that was fine. I guess you spawned after I left because you weren't there when I was on that floor. want to clear the place out, but I'm not sure. Oh, at least I know where you are now.
Cool now, huh?
Because some new guys appeared. We even had the redneck guys, like the shirtless yokel-looking dudes. He's got an interesting group of dudes working for him. Does Big Smoke? Okay, that wasn't really a path I could go at all. So haven't missed anything so far. That's fine. That's good to know. Got the shotgun, which is great for close range. Does huge amounts of damage up close. But it has its issues as a weapon in a gunfight. Very slow to fire when you're fighting against a large group of guys who are shooting you with assault rifles. Anyway, folks, when we come back next time, we'll be continuing with the final story mission of GTA San Andreas. Not the final story mission we're going to do, it's just the final main story mission that will roll the credits. See ya later.